It's Cindy Fodor here, and it's Stamp the Love, and it's Make It Monday. I hope that you can pop on and say hello. Let me just check and make sure we are streaming here okay. I didn't send an email tonight, so hopefully you guys remembered. Here we go, and it's on. So pop on, say hello. I have so much fun stuff to show you tonight. So as I said in my reminder, I'm going to be looking at the Hues of Happiness suite, which is just so beautiful. So while everybody pops on, hey Karen, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. All right. So I will give everybody a chance. In the meantime, I'm going to maybe go ahead and share this, and then I'll share it again. Hopefully, if I remember. I say that I'm going to do that, and then I forget. Hey, Linda, welcome. Just a reminder that this is the 22nd. This is the 23rd of May, and we just have 1 week left of the special for signing up. Okay, so lots and lots of goodies you get for free this month if you sign up as a demonstrator. Hey Barbara, hey Sylvia, welcome. So you get for free a pack of in color designer paper, all of the 5 new in color ink pads that are just yumminess. Hey Kelly, welcome. Yeah, that's gonna fall. Let me just scoot that back over here. Creating a hill that will just fall down. All of the designer paper, not designer paper, all the new in color paper. And I forgot to include this last time, but this really cool pack of grid paper that has, let me see if I can do it here with the designs, all the different colors of the in colors included in that. So we'll use a piece of that tonight. I usually don't use white just because my camera doesn't focus well. This is a little bit off white, so maybe it will be okay. All right, so I'll share who won the drawing for last week. I told you that I would give away some of the cards. And so these are the 2 cards from last week. I used the showed you how to use the Stamparatus. And so I'm going to give these away and I did a drawing of everybody who posted something, everybody who shared last week's video. And the winner was Melissa Newcomer. So welcome, Melissa. And Melissa, make sure you send me your address so that I can send those to you. All right, so don't forget to share and comment tonight because I'm making some really pretty cool things tonight, so you might want to win that. All right, so let me go ahead and switch over to my other screen because I have some other stuff I want to tell you about before we get started while everybody's popping on. Don't forget that when you place an order online, a $50 order, you get into my $1 million drawing for the month. So each month, since I started my countdown, I've been doing a drawing for some big prize. And this is, I think I figured like $80 some worth of products in this great little case, keeping it all together. Oh, thanks, Sylvia. Thanks, Karen, for sharing. So this has all kinds of adhesive in it. It even has an adhesive eraser in my new little bottle. I will tell you that I added stuff to this, so it's not all going to fit. There's dimensionals, tear and tape, glue dots, and stamp and seal, and a bottle of our Tombow liquid glue. So that's my giveaway for this month. So everybody who places a $50 order this month gets in the drawing for this prize. And these are the projects. I did a video on maybe 11th, 13th, I forget the date. I don't have a calendar here. These were the 3 projects that we did in class. And as you know from my emails that I always give away a packet of this when you place an order of $40 or more online. And I usually cut that off on the 15th of the month, but I do have enough that if anybody who places an order this week will also get this project pack with these projects in it. And the video is on Facebook and YouTube so that you can access that to know how to put those together. Hey, Solara, welcome. All right, ready to get started. Let me put this down here and see if that looks okay with the lighting. All right, so let me just first introduce you to the suite of products that the Hues of Happiness is. Let me just go to that page. I think that's 109. That will probably show you the best. They have some great ideas here, and it includes the designer paper, the stamps, the dies, and the pack of glossy enamel dots. Okay, so that's what's in the suite for $69.50. And what a great price that is. So the bundle is $49.50. You add on $12 for the paper and $8 for the glossy dots. All right, but with one number you can get that whole suite. I should probably tell you what that is in case you didn't add that to your order yet. 158828, and you can get all of those things that I'm showing you tonight. Okay, so let me just show you the paper. I just have one of each in here because I want to show you how this works. So these three, the first three here, are designs that have large flowers on, and they're separated mostly. A few of them aren't, but they're separated so that you can die cut. And I'm gonna show you a couple of these die cuts tonight. So like this one fits here, this one fits, let me come over here where you can see it, fits here. This big one cuts these out, and then this one cuts this one out. So almost everything on here gets die cut out if you want to do that. These little leaves do not. You can cut those by hand. These tiny, tiny little flowers that are so cute inside of here, they do not, but you could cut those out by hand if you want to. And then this, okay? And these two are for the stamps in the set, these two. But these dies also cut out the stamps that are in the set, okay? Just so that you know how that works. All right. Yeah, I have so much to show you. So let me put these back. I did use this die and these two in some of my samples, and I'll show you those when we get to that. I do want to point out, I used this the other night. This is our new Stampin' Up! Masking paper. And I'm using this for the card that I'm going to show you to how to do parts of it tonight. But I'm using masking to layer some of the stamps that are in the set and the leaves. So I'll show you that. But I just wanted to point that out before I forget that. And let me finish showing you the paper here. Let me just scoot these dies to the side. So those three have and you can see they're all different colors. Like these two are similar, but actually I might have gotten confused there. These do not look like they die cut, and I didn't use this sheet for that, so I used it to cut up and use it for the other side. So I may have been confused there. These two pieces might be the only ones that you can die cut. Sorry about that. I use this a lot, but and I only have a couple sheets left. And then these three sheets are not die cuttable as well, and you can see the sides there and then the sides here. These sides are very rainbow-ish and pretty, but I actually like the other side as well. So for this one, I'm not into this too much, so I'm going to show you the paper saving technique with this piece. I'm going to keep that out because we're going to use that, and hopefully I have my cutter in here. All right, so let me get rid of this paper. This piece will just stand here where it's supposed to. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and do the card first. And at the end, I have a bunch of different ideas to show you. So make sure you stay tuned to the end. I will work as fast as I can so that you don't get bored. Okay? All right. I've got some pieces here. So I want to show you, I'm going to show you how to die cut out these pieces then. You can see I trimmed around the DSP, Designer Series paper, in case you don't know. That's the term that we use just to make it shorter. So I'll show you how to cut those out. But in the meantime, and here's the piece I cut out with that. I have this white piece that's 4 inches by 5 1/4, and this goes on my card base. And these are the pieces of masking paper that I cut out. And I have one here, and I wanted to show you how that works. Let me just say, you don't want to cut these upside down, because I cut a whole bunch of them and I realized that the sticky was on the wrong side. Oops, that doesn't work very well. Hi, Julie, welcome. So, anyways, it's really pretty easy to get this apart. I did want to mention, though, something I discovered. Well, it looks like I took my regular cutting scissors out, so I have to cut paper with my ribbon scissors. I don't like to do that. Something I wanted to point out is, hopefully you can see this. There's a little edge around here that the die made, which is perfect for what I need to do. When you go to put this to mask a flower that you've stamped, you have to, you know how our dies cut outside of these lines. Well, when you mask, you need to cut inside of the line. So I used this line to just go around and trim out, and I could have just stamped on here rather than run it through the die cutter, okay? Just so you know, if you want to just do that. But this gave me almost a perfect, and it was quick and easy. I ran them all through at the same time, other than the ones I had to double because I was stamping a couple of the leaves and flowers. So I'm just cutting this outside edge pretty strongly inside of that that little score line that was noticeable there. Okay, and now I can peel this off. And sometimes there's one divider down the paper so that you can figure out which is the right side when you're cutting. But if you haven't cut it that way, it's a little hard to get that peeled off. Okay, so I'm going to cover that. All right. All right, now what I want to do is I've not stamped anything here. I saw this idea today and I thought that was so cool. And so I'm going to try to copy what she did. And I apologize. I had a doctor's visit today that wasn't so pleasant. And so my mind has been just a bit scattered. I'll try to share a little bit of that with you as I'm going here. But I'm going to just waste a little bit of color there because I don't want too much. And I just want to create a leaf by getting some blue behind it here. So I've covered up my flower because I don't want that to get color on it. And let's lift this up and see what that looks like. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to just put this over here because I want just a little bit of a leaf look right there. And I'll go ahead and do this side. So, if you were on last week, I went and had, actually, I guess only my team knows that. I think I shared that on Wednesday. I went and had a mole removed from my back and a spot removed from my face that has really been bothering me I've had it for several years, but it has gotten bad lately. And I was concerned about it. Anyways, he told me he wasn't concerned about it, but he took it off. He said, you probably want it off, so he took it off. And he found a mole in my back. I've had some removed before that were precancerous, not cancer, but definitely I need to be really careful and really, have doctors check me regularly because I have a very hereditary issue with skin cancer, and in my family, the only person that I know that has had melanoma is an aunt of mine, my mom's sister. My mom has had a ton of skin cancer. Okay, so I'm going to take those off. I'm going to take all of the masks off. They've been on here for about an hour or so since I was working on this design. So now you can see my pretty flowers up here. So anyways, oops. I hope that just tore the mask and not my paper. I think it did. And I can reuse these masks if I choose to. I might need to stick them back onto the mask paper if they'll stay. But you know how Post-it notes don't like to do that, so I'm doubting that they're going to want to do that. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm hoping I got that over here far enough. Yeah. Okay. So back to my story. I can't stamp and talk at the same time, so that could be bad, right? Let me just close this so I don't make a mess. So anyways, I went back today to get my stitches out and to get my results from the test that they sent the cells away. I'm going to just take this marker and I'm going to add in my leaves. I could stamp them, but I just want to go along here and just create a leaf at the edge. You can see it doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're going to do this one down here. And I'm using Pear Pizzazz marker. And there's a fuzz on there. So anyways, the doctor came in and I said, "How are you?" And he said, "Fine." He goes, "How are you?" And I said, "Well, you tell me, how am I?" And he said, "Well, we had a little surprise, but it's not terrible news." So he told me that the spot on my face was squamous cell, which is one of the, it can be metastatic. So it's not the best type of skin cancer that you would want to have. And that they got most of it, but the edges, the lateral edges possibly were still involved. And so I will be going on just a chemo cream on my face to get rid of that. And my back was, of course, like I said, not cancerous, but I just need to watch it. So, but anyway, so, you know, that's not the kind of news that you just really want to get. And I'm not, I don't think I'm too nervous. My husband said, I told him, and he said, "Did you tell Tosh?" 'Cause when she got up after I got home, she was taking a nap. And I said, "No, I haven't told anybody but you." Just because it's not easy to talk about. But anyways, hey Kay, welcome. You're welcome for your happy mail. Okay, isn't that cool? I sort of feel like I want this one leaf to be, I didn't want that to like look like it was overlapping there. There, now we can see two leaves. How's that? Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm trying to decide if I want to put ribbon on here. And because I just, you know, I love this pool party. I don't know what it's called, but it's like an organdy. And it stayed in the catalog, and I'm really excited about that. The only problem is I don't want it to hide anything. So if I do it, I'm going to just put it right here. And we'll see. If I have to pull it off because it's just not showing, I'll do that, but it's going to be easier if I have it in place. So let me stick that on, and then we're going to cut some flowers from the designer paper, and we're going to put those in place. But I do want to go ahead and glue this down, just because it's going to be easier for me to see where everything needs to go. And I just won't press this bottom down really tight, just in case I decide to lose the ribbon, although I can cut it off, I guess. Isn't that pretty? Just love those colors together. A little bit of Pear Pizzazz. Okay, so let me put that aside, and we're going to cut these flowers. I'm going to pull the little guy in here. And let's see what I can get here. Here's the big one. Here's Here's a leaf, and I'll do this flower and maybe this leaf at the same time. I can't do all of these at the same time because the dies will touch, but I can do this maybe. I just want to show you, somebody shared this and I thought it was brilliant, that even though you have a flower, let me grab one of these. Even though you have a flower that's coming off the edge of your paper, you don't have to just totally waste that one, because that's the one that I'm going to use right here. Okay, let's grab these. Now this is not a magnetic plate, so you'll want to just be careful as you're sticking this on here. And I usually look for something that's going to stand out for me. I usually don't have issues getting these on, but of course, you know, trying to do it on a video is not as easy. So give me a sec to get this baby lined up here. I knew exactly where this was going to go, but now I have no idea where it's going. Okay. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Let me just look here once. Get a handle for the layout. I'm sure I have the right card. There we go. I saw this little point right here, and there's a little ruffle up here at the top. Okay. You almost have to look straight on it so that you can see where you're going. Especially with these light colors around the edge, it's a little hard to see what's happening there. Okay, so let me scoot that one up there a little bit. I'm going to put my leaf on here. I'll probably mess these up by trying to cut so many at a time, but I'm the queen of what my father used to say, lazy man's load of work, I guess you could say. That's not the right one for that. That's the one I want to use on here too. Here we go. This is the right one. And that one might have to go here. How many times could I have had one of these through here already, right? I know, that's what you're thinking. Let me see if I can get this to stick on here. Okay. Now, I have to remember, of course, that I have to offset these plates. So I'm going to try to stick this one through a little before everything else. And I'll make sure everything's pretty much lined up there still. Thanks for sharing, girls. I appreciate it. All right. Let's get these out and get a couple more. Need that leaf yet, so I'll throw that back on there. Oops, that's not a leaf that we can use. Oh yeah, it is. Got the wrong die there. Okay. It likes to keep you on your toes, like, oh, that doesn't fit. Okay. Need this flower right here, because we didn't do any of those yet. I'm not sure what we're going to use, but what I found is that it's easiest to cut a bunch, and then you have things that you can start laying on and figuring out what you want on your design. And here, when you only have this part, you have to really be careful lining up because you don't want to miss part of that. All right, I think that's all that I can cut on that go round. Got this one a little bit off, but I think it'll be okay. All right, I think that'll give us enough to get started with. I can have another leaf and a part of a flower there that we can cut out. All right, let me scoot these dies over so I don't lose them. Away from the scrap pile, and let me get rid of this. All right, let's put this baby together. So I want my largest flower in the center here. And you see how this die cuts. It's sort of an odd pattern. Doesn't cut the whole thing, but that's okay because I'm placing my flowers down here. And I don't want to cover this up too much, so I'm not going to use a ton of these flowers. I have to decide where I want to put these. And this one has to go on the right, of course, because it's only a part of one. So we'll see if we can tuck that under there and make sure that those edges don't show. And I think that I'm going to use this leaf since it matches with the leaves that I put on there. And we'll put one down here. I like to get everything set up first so that I can just sort of have an idea where I want everything to go. Still deciding if I want that bow, but I think I do. I think the ribbon will go okay with that. And then we have this one that we could add if we want, but again, I don't want to cover this up too much because I spent time doing this design, so I don't want to, you know, get that all covered up. It is gorgeous DSP, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm ready to put some dimensionals on here. And I will do this big one first, and then I can just tuck everything under it. And maybe one more down over here. Well, I think I might not put any more because if you put too many, then you can't glue and tuck. And that can be a problem because you can't get things in very far. Especially full flowers. This partial flower should not be a problem. I really want to see some of this flower here, so I'm going to just scoot that in a little bit. Tuck this one in here with a little bit of glue. Actually, I want to put some glue on top because I want it to stick to the back of this flower as well. Okay, and then this one. That one was sticking a little bit to the dimensional. And then one more. Ta-da! Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I think that's so pretty. And then if you want, you can add some of the gems. And I'll show you those. Let me go ahead and trim this now that we're sure we're using it. That just gives it an extra little sparkle. Let's see. This has, the color is, I don't even know if it says on here. It says it in the book, I'm sure. But I think that they go okay. At least the small ones will be okay with pool party. Let's try one. I will put it somewhere where if I need to, I can take it off. These are the kind they don't slide well with the tool. So if you need, you might have to use your pokey tool to get under there. Yeah, I think that's going to look okay. I'm going to go ahead and use a couple of those. Oops, I missed that one. There we go. I think it adds a little sparkle. You could use almost anything. You could use some rhinestones, some little pearls. This card just, so beautiful just by itself. Okay, so I'm glad you like it. All right, so let's go to the paper because I have a bit to show you there. Let me just, I'm going to scoot this out of the way because I'm going to just keep scooting it and it's going to keep getting in my way. So this is the paper, whoops, this is the paper we're going to cut. And I need my cutter. So here's, I don't have the design laid out yet, but I will try to do that, at least write it out for you. If you can see this, there's pinks and yellows here. There's a little pink, a little yellow, some pool party, and some purple here, a little bit of purple here. And then up here you have a lot of purples with just a touch of yellow. Okay, so there's different colors. So I'm going to show you in a minute once I cut this. I'm going to show you how I took the colors that were in there to choose my background cardstock. But here is my paper saving idea. We're going to cut this in 4-inch strips. across this way, where this is all the one color here. This is a combination of some colors here, and then not all one color, but more specific colors here, and then a little more mishmash in the middle. So 4 inches, 4 inches, and 4-inch pieces will be perfect. So 3 4-inch pieces is what we're going to start with. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Then we're going to turn them this way, and we're going to start cutting at 3 inches. So I'm just going to cut them all at the same time. So we'll put them all at 3 inches. 3 inches and 3 inches. Another lazy man idea, right? Okay, so now we've got 3 pieces there, all different. If you can see those, these are the more purple, these are the mixture, and these are the pinks and yellows. And then we'll scoot that in. We'll do another 3-inch. And then we're going to do a little variation. It's going to, just because I would get bored if I did them all the same. Okay, so don't mind me. These are going to be pretty much the same because the way we cut it, it was going fairly the same. So now I'm going to take, let me think. I think I took 2 of these pieces. I'm going to put that one aside for a sec. I took 2 of these pieces and I cut them at 2 inches. And 2 inches. Okay, so now I have 6 pieces at 2 inches. I'll just scoot those over here. And then this one I'm going to go ahead and do a 3 and a 2. And then it's going to leave me with 1 inch, which I didn't do anything with. So shoot me. Now that could be a good like inside of your card or something like that. Okay. All right. So let me show what I did with those. Where did I lay those? Here they are. I stacked them very carefully. All right. So I pulled out all of the colors that I saw in here. I pulled out crushed curry, melon mambo, and of course you can look at the back of the paper and it will tell you the colors that are in the paper, okay? And I think the catalog does as well. Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Fresh Freesia, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mango, Melon, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, and Pool Party. Okay, so lots of choices to use there. There is some brown in here. The early espresso, it looks like anyways. So I did choose that as my background. So if this is 3 by 4, it gives me all this paper. My matting piece is going to be 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. For the 2 by 4 inch, it will be 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay? So really easy. When you take your full sheet of cardstock, and grab one of these in colors, you'll be able to cut it right down the center at 4 1/4. So you have 4 1/4 here and 4 1/4 here. You'll turn it this way. You'll cut 3 1/4, 3 1/4, and then you'll have your smaller pieces here. Cool, right? Actually, I think you can get 6 pieces out of one sheet. All right. So what I did was I just plopped them on the color that I thought they would go with. So the ones I told you that were up top that were more purples and blues, I put on the purples and blue paper. So this one's Fresh Freesia. And I just wanted to show, I went through some dies that I use all the time, and I just grabbed a bunch of little tag thingies. I didn't finish stamping everything because I'll decide what kind of cards I need, and then I'll stamp the sentiments on there. And then as I was putting these together, I just threw on some of the little shapes that I would put with that to put the sentiment on. So this one's on Pool Party. All of the layering pieces are Early Espresso because that was a neutral color. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to grab more colors on every single piece. You could go with black. It almost looks black on some. This one almost looks black on some of these. They definitely look more Early Espresso. So I stayed safe and stayed with Early Espresso. That one was the same, so I didn't put that one together. But here's the crushed curry. You see how beautiful that looks? Now the color they listed was daffodil. And you could definitely go with daffodil, but I wanted something that was a lot more rich. And so This little tag you could put down here at the bottom, you could put here at the side, you could put off to the side and cut this off, whatever you decide to do with that. And here's the Melon Mambo one, and another Melon Mambo. I pulled in Old Olive because of the leaves, and I think that one goes really well. I don't know what happened to my tag for this one. And then this is the 2-inch pieces. Now we got to those, and I put a couple of those different directions so that you could see. Like, you could put it this direction and open your card this way, or you could put it this direction and open it this way, or even this direction and put a saying here and open it this way. A couple ways you could do that. Here I have it opening this way with a little tag here. The same with this one. So you see I use Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather because both of them are in this paper. Okay, and then there's another one. So all of those cards I did from that one pack of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I know I had a piece or two left that I didn't use. So, of course, this 1-inch piece is left that I could have used somewhere. So if you need quick and easy, guys, this paper is the bomb. And of course, depending on which sides you use on that paper will determine what backgrounds you'll use for that. Okay? So, yeah, that didn't take too long, did it? Hopefully that gives you some ideas. I know sometimes we just need something a little quicker, and I do love the fancy, and I love to show you all the fun folds and stuff, and then you might make one card with that and be like, oh, I need more cards, right? Okay, I think, let's see, I said I would show you some samples yet. Oh, first let me show you the die sets that I pulled out that I think are totally necessary for stamping. So first I'm going to show you the oldie but goodie, and that's the rectangle, the stitched rectangle dies. Use them all the time. Next I'm going to show you, it's an oldie, but it wasn't as well used because it came with a stamp set, and I found myself not really using the stamp set. So these are called scallop contour dies. These are in the annual catalog still, and they just make great tags, great scalloped edges. So a new old one. Okay, this one came out in the current mini catalog, and I personally don't like the stamp set that went with it. But I realized I was missing out on all of these cool shapes, and you saw me use the hexagon and the circle shape on those tags. And I haven't even played with the rest of these yet, but I know there's so much I was missing out by not having these shapes. So I did snag myself that, I think, during free shipping day. This is a new set that I missed in the catalog, and when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is so cool. So this is called Deckled Rectangle Dies. Deckled means like torn. We used to have a deckle scissors that give that little torn look. So if you hate tearing your paper but you like that torn look, I'll be doing some stuff with this in the future, I'm certain. And then this one, this was the last one that I found. I kept seeing ideas with these stitched circles and squares, and I'm like, we don't have those anymore. I'm so sad because I love my stitched circles and squares. And sure enough, they have a new die set in here. It is so easy to use. I tell you, the new dies, since we got away from Sizzix, I love our dies so much better. They work so much easier. So anyways, so those are the must-have dies. Just thought I would share that. Thanks, Karen. Okay. All right, so here's some of the ideas. So here's my first 3x4 card that I had done with the set, and I added a flower and a sentiment. I used the back of the flowers instead of the flowery part because I wanted to pop this flower on and I wanted it to stand out. This one, here's that 1-inch piece. I just popped it beside this die, and this die is also in there, which I didn't talk about with the little torn one. I've shown it before, but that one's in this set as well. And this is no stamping here other than the saying. I just cut out the dies out of the paper. And then this one, again, is, whoops, I got one of my champagne gems came off another card. So this is the die that's in the set as well. And then the flowers. And here's one, here's another. Now this is not a 3x4, but this is made, I think I showed this at one point. This is made with our frame die set, which I don't have yet. I borrowed, and so I was able to make that. So there's little stitching here. This is the designer paper, and then this is the opposite side. This is the side we cut. I just cut now. No, I didn't cut this one now. But I did use a piece of it on my envelope to match, to coordinate with that card. Isn't that just rich? And then I popped a little flower on here, but this is just flipped over. This is the piece that was cut out of the inside here, and then I just flipped it over. And then this one is the 2x4. This is a 2x4 card. And this one you can see is stamped behind, so if you want to spend a little more time, you can do that. I definitely wouldn't add this extra layer of paper, but you could emboss this layer of paper, and then you would want to add the extra layer. But to stamp it, I'm a stamp on the flat surface kind of girl. But if you emboss, I always like to add an extra layer to the front of my card. I hate to emboss just on the card itself because it makes it too flimsy. So, and this is the paper that we just cut, so you can see how nicely that looks there. And you can even use your colored paper for your sentiments. And last but not least is this crazy, crazy one that I had so much fun making. This is a new mask that we have, and I just used my blending brushes in the two colors. I used Flirty Flamingo and Daffodil Delight. And just quickly did the background, and then I cut out a couple of my flowers, and I used the cute little bird and added, I just took the new ribbon, which I don't have in here, the in color ribbon, and I just pulled the pieces out and then just stuck them in here like little straw that the mama bird pulled to make a nest. So, all right, I think I covered everything that I said I was going to cover. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment. If I don't see it now, I will answer it later. That way I don't leave you hanging. So I do have a link in the post, where if you don't already aren't already signed up for my email list, you can make sure you get on there. And there's some other links to go sign up and get the special kit. My store's on there. My store for classes that I have made up are on there, so all those links are in that. If you come back as soon as this is not live anymore, you'll be able to see that in my post. Okay, so hi Linda, thanks. Thanks all for joining me, and I hope you have a great week. I will see you next Monday. Take care. Bye bye.